What's going on, guys? JB Lion back with another video today. Obviously today's video we are talking about the Arsenal-Chelsea game that literally, like I say, just happened. Right, where do we even start with this? Obviously, going into the game, we're huge underdogs, which is to be expected. We're against an Arsenal side that's top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, pretty much beating most teams. Some convincingly, some not. But yeah, obviously went into this complete underdogs. Before I get into this, I just want to thank you everyone for all the likes and comments recently on my videos, and obviously really appreciating the love on the videos, the support. Obviously it helps me massively, motivates me to keep going. I keep going regardless because I enjoy it, but it does obviously help as well. So if you guys are new around it, like I always say, hit the sub button. If you like the video, hit the like button, and let's just get straight into this video. Obviously, I was going to go into this video very annoyed because the game was very frustrating to watch. You know, let's just start it off. Came out of the blocks, we looked good, looked confident, looked on the front foot, and then we literally concede a needless corner that Chalobah gives away. And then straight away, it's a goal, straight from set piece. Obviously, knowing that Arsenal are known for this, like, you know, they're pretty much this season the top scorers from set pieces, which is fair enough. But knowing this, you'd think, right, we're going to defend a bit better, you know, try and think like, you know, especially when Liam Rossini's coming out being like, I've analysed it, I've watched Arsenal's tapes. Clearly, mate, you haven't watched them enough because they're still banged in a set piece against us. It was always going to happen at some point during the game, but to happen so early on, it knocked the confidence and the stuffing out of us, especially when we was doing so well to start with. We looked confident, and then for that to happen, it just kind of put us on roller skates. We looked shaky from there on in. An absolute awful goal to concede. Like, you know, the fact that you know, Sanchez absolutely flapped at it like a seagull on Margate seafront, and then just for Ben White basically to be alone and header it in. The only talking point about it is, what's the difference between that goal and the goal that happened yesterday with Haaland? They're pretty much identical, yet Haaland's was offside. Tonight, this wasn't given as an offside. This is where people are getting annoyed by VAR and getting annoyed by the inconsistencies in it at the moment. I am a strong believer in VAR. I'm a strong believer in that, you know, it does have a place in the sport because you know, it basically helps, you know, pretty much stop games from being like so bad. Like, you know, being a Chelsea fan, my thoughts instantly think back to us against Barcelona, you know, games like that, or Frank Lampard against Germany, things like that are crucial and major mishaps. That's where VAR should step in. But when you've got inconsistencies like this, where Haaland's offside yesterday, yet Gyökeres is onside today, that's where football fans are getting annoyed. And that is obviously, regardless of the offside or whatever, still an awful goal to concede from a set piece. Like I said, Arsenal are known for it, so to concede that early on from a very weak set piece was very frustrating. Because as soon as we conceded that goal, like I said, we looked on skates for the whole half. We basically just gave Arsenal the half and said, you know what, you just do what you want. We had a few attempts, but other than that, we was absolutely woeful in that first half. Like I said, conceding that set piece just completely threw it off. And every time that ball came into the box from a set piece, Sanchez was flapping at it, and it just gave Arsenal confidence that we shouldn't have given them. Then moving into the second half, obviously half-time comes, you know, you think half-time's done, Rossini's hopefully giving him the hairdryer treatment in the changing room. Oh no, come out, bang, second half, ball down the side of us, whipped in by Ben White. Sanchez completely, like, just loses the ball from underneath him. It's a tap-in for Gyökeres. Obviously, for Gyökeres, great confidence, but it is absolutely awful goalkeeping from Sanchez. this is like the inconsistency, and this is why people are screaming out that Chelsea need a goalkeeper, because there's one game you've got Sanchez absolutely killing it in goal, and then the next game you've got this on arguably our biggest night, where we, are one of the nights where we actually have to show up, like show that, show that Liam Rossini is here to, be taken note of. But instead, this happened into the second half. Sanchez just pretty much let it squabble from under him. Yeah, you could say, oh, it's wet, it's wet. No, mate, that is bad goalkeeping. How he let that happen, I don't know. So, obviously, 2-0. We then move into the game, and we're 2-0 down, looking a bit beaten. He then starts making subs, which is great. But I don't honestly know. I'm looking at my notes here. I honestly don't know. Obviously we got, there is positives in this. I'm trying to not be too negative about it, but the subs, we made three defenders came on. Badiashile, Hato, Tosin, 3 defenders. We only made 2 attacking changes, and that being Garnacho and then another youngster. Like, what is going on? Like I said, I completely, gonna be positive, but 3 defender substitution is just not, which is just not good enough at all, in my opinion. I just think, personally, obviously, it, like I say, worked out, but still, as a fan, you're watching a team that's 2-0 down, and you're making 3 defenders come on, and swapping out 3 defenders, doesn't fill you with the most confidence. Talking of confidence, Garnacho, he came on, I gave him smoke the other day saying he just didn't do anything, and he came on, banged a goal in, which was obviously what he needed personally and what Chelsea needed. 2-1, confidence high, tails up, we're lifted, we're going for it. And then basically straight up the other end, Zubimendi just cuts it past and bangs it in, makes it 3-1. Tails down, confidence low again, but luckily we got another lifeline. Garnacho at the back post, well, in the box, with a great volley to make it 3-2. So it was just an absolute rollercoaster game at Stamford Bridge. Like I said, there's a lot of negatives in the game. 3 defensive defenders coming on. Throughout the game, you couldn't really see a real tactics. There was a bit of a mess. Obviously, I'm going to try and not be too harsh. This is Liam Rossini's second game in charge. He still hasn't had a full chance to do, real go at what he's doing. Arguably, you could say, you could take away from this game that the confidence is there. To come away, obviously we lost, but to come away 3-2... to a team that, like I say, is top of the league, top of the Champions League, you could look at that as a positive. But my real scary thought is there's no real tactics at the moment. Obviously, he's only just gone in. But at the moment, there's no real tactics. There's there's no real attacking options, he took off João Pedro and bring on this youngster, but I think this youngster's a cam. He ain't even a striker. So it's he has nothing to play with. Liam Delap apparently fell ill before the game. If you look at the list of players we didn't have, Caicedo, Reece James, Liam Delap, there's plenty more I can think of that we just didn't have. And it's, Cole Palmer being the major one. Obviously, there's stuff circling around of the Maresca wouldn't listen to the medical team because if they were just come back from injury, Maresca would want to put 90 minutes on them, and that we had to have our medical man sitting in the bed, whatever. The main thing is, we came away, we lost, but we came away with 2 goals, taking it to the Emirates, which is going to be hard, but we still have a lifeline. There is still a chance that we can do this. But my God, the performance tonight was the most ropiest thing ever that I've ever seen. But I'm not going to go into it anymore. I'm sure Chelsea fans feel the exact same way. The only thing I'm going to say, lastly, on the negative note, is that us Chelsea fans are as plastic. Some Chelsea fans out there are as plastic as they come. As like people were, I was reading Twitter whilst like the game was on, and people were like writing, "Get this manager out! It's absolute ropes, this and that." The poor sod. Yeah, I'm talking crap about his tactics, but the poor sod's only been in there for 2 matches, and he got a very comfortable win, and he's just got basically a loss to Arsenal, but a 3-2 loss, which, you know, could have been a whole lot worse. So I feel like we've got to support it, but I hope that in the next games we build this confidence, and then when we go back to the Emirates, we look a lot more comfortable and have a little bit more of an idea with tactics. And I also hope that Robert Sanchez doesn't put on his bloody washing up gloves to go in goal. He puts on his goalie gloves instead of his washing up gloves. But getting into the news section of the video, which is my good player and my negative player. We'll start off with the negative player, and I'm pretty sure you can all know who the negative player is, and that is bloody Robert Sanchez. Oh my God, bless him. Honestly, like I said, the roller coaster that goalkeeper has given us this season. 1 minute you're up here praising him, saying, "Man, you've absolutely turned this around." And next minute you're down here. Like tonight, he's got his bloody marigolds on in goal, trying to bloody save shots from Arsenal. It is just, honestly, that I think I've ranted about Sanchez enough in this video, but like I said, I'm sure you knew I was going to say Sanchez as the bad person of the match. The positive one was a hard one, because obviously Garnacho scored 2 goals, came on, completely changed us, brought us new energy, made us look much better. Obviously, I slated him last week. Garnacho was definitely an option. But for me personally, there was only one real proper winner tonight. Obviously, goals do count, and I know that's why people pick man of the matches, because goals, assists, whatever. But for me, on a personal level, and I hope you guys agree, the real winner for me tonight was Esteval. He was absolutely quality tonight, played the full 90 minutes. Every time he got the ball, he looked scary, menacing, attacking, made those Arsenal defenders absolutely poop their pants because of how quick he was. He wasn't afraid. He knew Arsenal were going to be aggressive, which they was aggressive, but he stood up to them and he absolutely killed it out there. And you know what? Like I always say, Esteval, he killed it tonight. He might not have got a goal, but the work he put in, and like I said, the chances he created was just brilliant. It was just so, like, he didn't ever drop energy. He was like the real driving force for us tonight. Every time he got the ball, like I said, he wasn't scared to run at him. He created some good chances. It would have been nice if he could have topped it off with a goal, but he was arguably our best player tonight. So well done, Esteval. But yes, guys, I've been JB Lion. Thank you so much for listening to me to rant tonight. Obviously, I don't like to be negative in videos because I always want to be as positive as possible. And it's a mixture of feelings for me right now. Bit of negativity because we could have done so much better. Robert Sanchez bringing his marigolds to the bloody match. But the positives are we've got a 3-2 loss. Yeah, I know it sounds mental to say a loss is a positive, but we've got a 3-2 loss, taking it to the Emirates. We're still within a chance in this cup. We've just got to go there with a different mindset. You know, we showed fight. We didn't give up. We were 3-1 down at one point, and we didn't give up. We still gave it our all, which is the most key thing to doing against Arsenal. Like I said, they're the top team at the moment, and to still have the confidence and to try and fight back is an absolute positive. We're still building with Liam Rosenior, so it's only exciting times ahead for us. But yes, guys, I've been JB Lion. Thank you so much for all watching. Like I say, if you enjoy these videos, please do hit the sub button. If you like these videos, hit the like button. Leave all your comments below. Let me know what you guys thought of the game. But yes, I've been JB Lion. I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Peace, guys. Woo!